हेलो दोस्तों, बिगनर्स माइंड में आपका स्वागत है। और अभी हम कर रहे हैं इकोनॉमिक्स। ठीक है। इससे पहले की जो वीडियो कर ली, अगर नहीं देखी तो प्लेलिस्ट बना रखी है, उसमें सब ऐड है। 9th से लेकर 12th तक की पूरी सीरीज़ है इकोनॉमिक्स की, तो ये भी साथ साथ देखते चलना। हाउ टू क्रिएट मोर एम्प्लॉयमेंट, एम्प्लॉयमेंट को और ज़्यादा क्रिएट कैसे करना है फ्रॉम द अबव डिस्कशन। जो हमने कल डिस्कशन करा था, नहीं देखी तो पुरानी वीडियो देख लो। वी कैन सी दैट देयर कंटिन्यूज टू बी कंसिडरेबल underemployment in agriculture. There are also people who are not employed at all. In what ways can one increase employment for people? Let us look at some of them. Take the case of Lakshmi with her 2 hectare plot of unirrigated land. The government can spend some money, or banks can provide a loan to construct a well for her family to irrigate the land. Lakshmi will then be able to irrigate her land and take a second crop. Irrigate यानी कि ये फसल वगैरह लगाने को irrigate बोलते हैं। तो इसके लिए उसने लोन लिया, बैंक ने लोन दिया, और वो पहले नहीं लगा सकती थी क्योंकि उसके पास पैसे नहीं थे, अब लगा सकती है क्योंकि उसके पास पैसे हैं। Second crop, wheat during the Rabi season. Let us suppose that 1 hectare of wheat can provide employment to 2 people for 50 days, including sowing, watering, fertilizer. Application and harvesting. Harvesting. So, 2 more members of the family can be employed in her own field. Now, suppose a new dam is constructed and canals are dug to irrigate many such farms. This could lead to a lot of employment generation within the agricultural sector itself, reducing the problem of underemployment. Now, suppose Lakshmi and other farmers produce much more than before, they would also need to sell some of this. For this, they may be required to transport their products to a nearby town. If the government invests some money in transportation and storage of crops, or makes better rural roads so that mini trucks reach everywhere, several farmers like Lakshmi, who now have access to water, can continue to grow and sell these crops. This activity can provide productive employment to not just farmers but also others, such as those in service like transport or trade. Lakshmi's need is not confined to water alone to cultivate the land, and she also needs seeds, fertilizers, agricultural equipment, and pump sets to draw water. Being a poor farmer, she cannot afford many of these, so she will have to borrow money from moneylenders and pay a high rate interest. If the local bank gives her credit at a reasonable rate of interest, she will able to buy all these in time and cultivate her land. This means that along with water, we also need to provide cheap agricultural credit to the farmers for farming to improve. We will look at some of these needs in chapter 3, money and credit. Another way by which we can tackle this problem is to identify, promote and locate industries and services in semi-rural areas where a large number of people may be employed. For instance, suppose many farmers decide to grow arhar and chickpeas, pulse crops. Setting up a dal mill to produce and process these and sell in the cities is one such example. Opening a cold storage could give an opportunity for farmers to store their products like potatoes and onions and sell them when the price is good. In villages near forest areas, we can start honey collection centers where farmers can come and sell wild honey. It is also possible to set up industries that process vegetable and agricultural produce like potatoes, sweet potato, rice, wheat, tomato, fruits which can be sold in outside markets. ये सब क्या होता है, आउटसाइड मार्केट में सोल्ड कर देते हैं एग्रीकल्चर प्रोड्यूस जो करते हैं. This will provide employment in in industries located in semi-rural areas and not necessarily in large urban centers. Do you know that in India about 60% of the population belongs to the age group 5 to 29 years? Out of this, only about 51% are attending educational institutions. The rest, and particularly those aged less than 18 years, may be at home or many of them may be working as child laborers. If these children are to attend schools, we will require more buildings, more teachers, and other staffs. A study conducted by the erstwhile Planning Commission, now known as Niti Aayog, estimates that nearly 20 lakh jobs can be created in the education sector alone. Similarly, if we are improve the health situation, we need many more doctors, nurses, health workers, etc. to work in rural areas. These are some ways by which jobs would be created, and we would also be able to address the important aspects of development talked about chapter 1. Every stage of reason has potential for increasing the income and employment for people in that area. It could be tourism or regional craft industry or new service like IT. Some of these would require proper planning and support from the government. For example, the same study by Planning Commission says that if tourism as a sector is improved, every year we can give additional employment to more than 35 lakhs. We must realize that some of the suggestions that discussed above would take a long time to implement for the short term. We need some quick measures. Recognizing this, the central government in India made a law implementing the right to work in about 625 districts of India. It is called Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005, Manrega 2005. Under Manrega 2005, all those who are able to and are in need of work in rural areas are guaranteed 100 days or employment in a year by the government. इस एक्ट में क्या था 100 दिन 100 डेज का काम मिलेगा जो कि वहीं आसपास जहाँ पर रहते हो वहीं पर होगा ठीक है इफ द गवर्नमेंट फेल्स इन इट्स ड्यूटी टू प्रोवाइड एम्प्लॉयमेंट इट विल गिव अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट allowance to the people the types of work that would in future help to increase the production from land will be given preference under the act. Division of sectors has organized and unorganized. Let us examine another way of classifying activities in the economy. This looks at the way people are employed. What are their conditions of work? Are there any rules and regulations that are followed as regards their employment? Kanta. Kanta works in an office. She attends her office from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. She gets her salary regularly at the end of every month. In addition to the salary, she also gets provident fund as per the rules laid down by the government. She also gets medical and other allowances. Kanta does not go to office on Sundays. This is a paid holiday. When she joined work, she was given an appointment letter stating all the terms and conditions of work. Kamal is Kanta's neighbor. He is a daily wage laborer in a nearby grocery shop. He goes to the shop at 7:30 in the morning and works till 8 p.m. in the evening. He gets no other allowances apart from his wages. He is not paid for the days he does not work. He has therefore no leave or paid holidays. Nor was he given any formal letter saying that he has been employed in the shop. He can be asked to leave anytime by his employer. Do you see the difference in the conditions of work between Kanta and Kamal? Kanta work in organized sector. Organized sector covers those enterprises or places of work where the terms of employment are regular and therefore people have assured work. They are registered by the government and have to follow its rules and regulations which are given in various laws such as the Factories Act, Minimum Wages Act Payment of Gratuity Act, Shops and Establishment Act, etc. It is called organized because it has some formal process and procedures. Some of these people may not be employed by anyone but may work on their own, but they have to register themselves with the government and follow the rules and regulations. Workers in the organized sector enjoy security of employment. They are expected to work only a fixed number of hours. If they work more, they have to be paid overtime by the employer. They also get several other benefits from the employers. What are what are these benefits? They get paid leave, payment during holidays, provident fund, gratuity, etc. They are supposed to get medical benefits, and under the laws, the factory manager has to ensure facilities like drinking water and a safe working environment. When they retire, these workers get pensions as well. In contrast, Kamal works in the unorganized sector. The unorganized sector is characterized by small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. There are rules and regulations, but these are not followed. Jobs here low paid and often not regular. There is no provision for overtime, paid leave, holidays, leave due to sickness, etc. Employment is not secure. People can be asked to leave without any reason. When there is less work, such as during some seasons, some people may be asked to leave. A lot also depends on the whims of the employer. This sector includes a large number of people who are employed on their own doing small jobs such as selling on the street or doing repair work. Similarly, farmers work on their own and hire laborers as and when they require. How to protect workers in the unorganized sector? Unorganized sector जो होते हैं जिसमें कभी भी काम जा सकता है, कभी भी आ सकता है, काम नहीं होता तो नौकरी से निकाल देते हैं। ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर वो वाले सेक्टर होते हैं जैसे कि मनरेगा है, उसमें अगर 100 दिन का काम नहीं मिला तो फिर उसके बदले गवर्नमेंट क्या करेगी, पे करेगी उन लोगों को जिनको काम दे सकती थी। ठीक है। The organized sector offers jobs that are the most sought after, but the employment opportunities in the organized sector have been expanding very slowly. It is also common to find many organized sector enterprises in the unorganized sector. They adopt such strategies to evade taxes and refuse to follow laws that protect laborers. As a result, a large number of workers are forced to enter the unorganized sector jobs, which pay a very low salary. They are often exploited and not paid a fair wage. Their earnings are low and not regular. These jobs are not secure and have no other benefits. Since the 1990s, it is also common to see a large number of workers losing their jobs in the organized sector. These workers are forced to take up jobs in the unorganized sector with a low earnings. Hence, besides the need for more work, there is also a need for protection and support of the workers in the unorganized sector. Who are these vulnerable people who need protection? In the rural areas, the unorganized sector mostly comprises of landless, agricultural laborers, small and marginal farmers, sharecroppers, and artisans such as weavers, blacksmiths, carpenters, and goldsmiths. Nearly 80% of rural households in the India are in small and marginal farmer category. These farmers need to be supported through adequate facility for timely delivery of seeds, agricultural inputs, credit, storage facilities, and marketing outlets. In the urban areas, unorganized sector comprises mainly of workers in small scale industry, casual workers in construction, trade and transport, etc., and those who work as street vendors, head load workers, garment markers, rag pickers, etc. Small scale industry also needs government's support for producing raw material and marketing of output. The casual workers in both rural and urban areas need to be protected. Protected. We also find that majority of workers from scheduled caste, tribes and backward communities find themselves in the unorganized sector. Besides getting the irregular and low paid work, these workers also face social discrimination, protection and support to the unorganized sector workers in thus necessary for both economic and social development. When factories close down, many once regular workers are found selling goods and or pushing a cart or doing some other odd jobs. Sectors in terms of ownership, public and private sectors. Another way of classifying economic activities into sectors could be on the basis of who owns assets and is responsible for the delivery of services. In the public sector, the government owns most of the asset and provides all the services. In the private sector, ownership of asset, delivery of service is in the hands of private individuals or companies. Railways or post office is an example of the public sector, whereas companies like Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited, Tisco, or Reliance Industries (RIL) are privately owned. Activities in the private sector are guided by the motive of earned profit. To get such services, we have to pay money to these individuals and companies. The purpose of the public sector is not just to earn profits. Governments raise money through taxes and other ways to meet expenses on the services rendered by it. Modern day governments spend on a whole range of activities. What are these activities? Why do governments spend on such activities? Let's find out. There are several things needed by the society as whole but which the private sector will not provide at a reasonable cost. Why? Some of these need spending large sum of money which is beyond the capacity of private sector. Also collecting money from thousands of people who use these facilities is not easy. Even if they do private these things, they would charge a high rate for their use. Examples are construction of roads, bridges, railways, harbors, generating electricity, providing irrigation through dams, etc. Thus governments have to undertake such heavy spending and ensure that these facilities are available for everyone. There are some activities which the government has to support. The private sector may not continue their production or business unless government encourage it. For example, selling electricity at the cost of generation may push up the cost of production of goods in many industries. Many units, especially small scale units, might have to shut down. Government here steps in by producing and supplying electricity at rates which these industries can afford. Government has to bear part of the cost. Similarly, the government in India buys wheat and rice from farmers at a fair price. This it stores in its godowns and sells at a lower price to consumers through ration shops. You have read about this in the chapter on food security class 9. The government has to bear some of the cost. In this way, the government supports both farmers and consumers. There are a large number of activities which are the primary responsibility of the government. The government must spend on these. Providing health and education facilities for ill all is one example. We have discussed some of these issues in the first chapter. Running proper schools and providing quality education, particularly elementary education, is the duty of the government. India's size of illiterate population is one of the largest in the world. Similarly, we know that nearly half of India's children are malnourished and a quarter of them are critically ill. We have read about infant mortality rate. The infant mortality rate of Odisha 36 or Madhya Pradesh 43 is higher than some of the poorest regions of the world. Government also needs to pay attention to aspects of human development such as ability of safe drinking water, housing facilities for the poor and food and nutrition. It is also the duty of the government to take care of the poorest and most ignored regions of the country through increased spending in such areas. समिंग अप ये सब चैप्टर में है। ये क्या एक्सरसाइज वगैरह हो गई, जो कि इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट है नहीं। ठीक है, और इसी के साथ क्या हो जाता है, चैप्टर आपका हो जाता है समाप्त। अब मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट चैप्टर में।